Hi Year 10, I'm just going to go through simultaneous equations with you this morning and how to solve simultaneous equations using elimination. So the starter on your PowerPoint when you open it will be this puzzle task for you to do here, okay? Just use whatever method you find works to figure out the value of a circle and the value of a triangle, okay, or whatever the shape is. And then we're moving on to, just bear with me a second, I put this into slideshow mode. Current slide, that's it, okay, and we're going to move on to a title for today, which is solving simultaneous equations by elimination. So elimination means getting rid of one of the variables. So just like in the starter task, you had two different shapes to figure out the value of. In simultaneous equations, you usually have two different letters to figure out the value of, and there will be two equations. And the elimination method requires you to eliminate one of the variables by either adding or subtracting the equations. So I'm going to show you a few examples so this makes a bit more sense to you. So in this case, we're going to solve these two equations here. And we can see that we've got a 2y on the top and a 2y on the bottom. This is really important. The only way we can eliminate one of the variables is if we've got the same coefficient for one of the letters on the top and on the bottom. Okay. In this case, one is a positive 2y and one is a negative 2y. So we're going to add the equations together. Okay. The reason we add is because if we do 2y plus minus 2y, we get 0. Okay, it gets rid of the y's, and that leaves us with just something x equals something, which means we can find x. Okay, so the important thing to remember is we've got the same coefficient, the same number, but one is positive and one is negative, which means that we add. Okay, so I'm going to add these two equations together. 4x plus 3x is 7x. The two y's are eliminated because 2y plus minus 2y is 0. And on the right hand side I've got 28, and then it's easy, you just divide by 7, x is equal to 4. The next step then is to go back in and find y, so you substitute the x back into the equation. It doesn't matter which equation you use, and they'll both give you the same answer. So I've chosen the top one, so I've substituted 4 into the top equation, so I've got 4 times 4 is 16, plus 2y equals 22. Which gives me 16 plus 2y equals 22. Take away 16 from both sides and divide by 2, and I've got y equals 3. Okay, so my final answers are x equals 4 and y equals 3. So this second one here, again, I've got a plus 2y and a minus 2y. It's not always 2, it could be any number, but as long as the coefficient is the same, but the signs are different, we add. So I've got 5x plus 7x, which is 12x. We've got 24 on the right hand side. Divide by 12 on both sides gives us x equals 2. And then substitute the x into either equation to calculate y. 10 plus 2y equals 22. 2y is 12, so y is equal to 6. Okay. So there's another two examples, again with one positive and one negative of the same, with the same coefficient. So if you want to just go through these ones in your own time, if you feel you need to, just to figure out what it is I've done, okay, that's absolutely fine. And once you've understood why you add them together and how that works, and that you need to find both x and y, move on to doing the 5 questions, which will be obviously on the PowerPoint, which is the same as this video without the animation. Okay, so there's 5 questions there which are all of the same type, where you have to add the equations together. Okay, so if you want to stop and do that now, that's fine. If you want to keep watching, I'm going to move on to looking at when the equations have a coefficient which is the same, but they're both the same sign. So in this case, we've got plus 1y plus 1y on this first one, okay? And we want to eliminate the y's because we've got 1y and 1y. So in this case, to eliminate y, we need to subtract, because y take away y is nothing. Okay, so we're going to take away the equations. Same signs, take away the equations. So that will give me 2x, 4x take away 2x is 2x, 31 take away 17 is 14, divide by 2 on both sides, x is equal to 7. And from that point on, it's the same as previously. You substitute x equals 7 into one of the equations. I've chosen the bottom one this time because, well, no particular reason really. I just thought the numbers looked a bit easier. So 2 times 7, x is 7, 2 times 7 is 14, plus y equals 17, y is equal to 3. And once you've got your final answers, what you can do to double check is to substitute x equals 7 and y equals 3 into the other equation. So I can come up to this first one here and do 4 times 7, which is 28, plus y, which is 3. 28 plus 3 is 31, so that's correct, and that just kind of confirms that I've got the answer right. Okay, so this time we've got two y's again, but they're both positive. So we're going to subtract. 3x take away 1x is 2x, 19 take away 9 is 10, divide by 2, x equals 5. Then we substitute our 5 into the equation. 5 plus 2y equals 9, 2y equals 4, and y equals 2. So we've got x equals 5 and y equals 2. Okay, as one last example. Again, we've got 2y, seems to be a popular number this morning. And we take away 3x equals 3 and x equals 1. Substitute, probably use the bottom equations, a little bit easier. So 1 plus 2y equals 7, 2y must be 6, and y equals 3. Okay, so the important thing that you need to write down is the rules on the right hand side here. So if the variables you want to eliminate are plus and minus, you add the equations. If the variables you want to eliminate are plus and plus, or in fact minus and minus, you subtract the equations. So different signs you add, same signs you subtract. Okay, so there's another one there. If you want to go through that in your own time, you can do, just to double check your understanding. And then, and in fact, actually, I've added on to this slide. Sorry, I didn't realise that. I've added on the minus and minus here, so you can add that to your notes. And then there's 5 questions for you to do where the signs are the same. Okay, so it's not, sorry, this set of questions is where the signs are different. This set of questions are where the signs are the same for both the amazing and genius, and then Einstein is a mixture of both. Okay, so I don't want you to spend longer than 1 hour on this lesson, so do as much as you can within that time, but don't feel that you have to do every question on the PowerPoint that I'm sending. Just do as much as you can to make sure that you've understood it, and as I say, it should take you about an hour, which is the length of your maths lesson. And then for your following maths lesson this week, there is a task on Maths Watch on simultaneous equations. Okay, thanks for watching. As always, get in touch if you need some help, either using the Teams session or by sending an email to your teacher.